This is Ham Radio Perspectives. I am Quin, K8QS.
I'm Tom, WA9TDD.
Thanks again to all of you for your great comments on our videos. It's really fun to be part of this channel. We're glad to serve you. We did a video a while back that was very popular about the best classic antenna tuners. Duh, we did that. You know, we're the Dit and Duh brothers. But what we didn't take into account was that a lot of people would say, well, most rigs have antenna tuners today. Why are you looking at classic ones unless you're going to use an amplifier or something? And that was a good point. So we decided to do a short video here on rigs that have some of the best internal antenna tuners. So you don't have to go with one of the classics outboard tuners. And so we're going to divide this up into two parts. First, look at a few of the rigs that are used for portable operation, because that's really important if you can have an antenna tuner within those rigs rather than carrying another device out. And then we'll look at the desktop ones that have built-in antenna tuners based on both reviews that we've looked at, but also our own experiences with most of these rigs. So Tom, why don't you get us started?
Okay, well, we always devolve back to the tune the wet noodle in the field champions. These are the ones that'll tune in the 10-to-1 SWR range, which is quite a lot, really. And if you frequently find yourself throwing a random wire up in a tree, you need a tuner that can handle extreme impedance mismatches. And my first choice would be the Jigu G90. Okay, this is an affordable 20-watt SDR. And it's famous in the ham community for its legendary ultra-wide internal tuner. It could comfortably match an SWR of up to 10-to-1 in seconds, making it a fantastic overachiever for portable operations. Even people who don't like Chinese equipment in general rave about the tuner of this rig for field operations.
Yeah, they came out with another model, not of the 90, but I forget the number on it, 2240 or something. It's smaller with a different antenna tuner. Doesn't work nearly as well.
No.
But, when you think about it, you can get that rig for $500 portable with the tuner built in. It's great, but we want to give an alternative here that's more pricey. So we'll go to Elecraft, which also has excellent antenna tuners pretty much across the range of all of their rigs. I have one sitting on the table over here that's an outboard. I'm looking here especially at the KX2 and the KX3. Those rigs were made for POTA, QRP, for getting out in the field, just having fun in the backyard and the like. Elecraft is renowned for engineering some of the best wide-range automatic antenna tuners on the market. And their premium QRP rigs, these two suckers handle massive mismatches quickly, and they can recall the stored solutions that you put in there, store different frequencies flawlessly, just like that. So they're great. But let's get into the desktop models that you might consider that have really good tuners as well. We're going to look particularly at those that go up to 100 watts, okay? And typically what you see with these tuners is they're rated for about 3-to-1 SWR. Some will do higher than 3-to-1, but at least 3-to-1 is the goal. Most modern 100-watt transceivers limit their tuners because they're 100-watt rigs to the 3-to-1 matching range to protect the final amplifiers. It might shut down on you if you have too high of an SWR. They expect the antenna, like a cut dipole or an EdFed with a proper un to be relatively close to resonance. And let's start with two of my favorites here, the Kenwood TS590SG. TS590SG, which I owned and loved. I traded it off or sold it when I got an IC7300, which to some extent killed the market for the 590SG. But the 590SG had terrific tuner. And I'll add to that, Tom, the Kenwood TS890S. Kenwood has a long-standing reputation for building incredibly robust, heavy-duty, relay-switched tuners. They can sometimes be a little bit noisy, but they're notoriously fast and durable, making them fantastic centerpieces for shack improvement if you want a tuner in the rig.
Right. And Quinn, let me direct your attention to the gold standard of modern SDR rigs, and that's the ICOM IC7300. And I believe you'll agree with me because it features an exceptionally quick automatic antenna tuner that remembers frequency matches perfectly. It also hides a clever emergency mode in its menus, allowing to tune a higher SWR by automatically throttling down the RF power output.
Brilliant. That's a great way to go, given that problem that we talked about with SWR and higher watt rigs. Now, neither of us has tested the new IC7300 Mark II in terms of the antenna tuner, so we're not going to make a comment on that. But we have to give some kudos here to Yaesu, their FT710 and their FTDX10. These are known for having some of the quietest and most selective receivers currently available, but they also feature snappy and highly dependable internal tuners that handled standard mismatches gracefully. Now, by standard, we mean it's not something outlandish where you're just throwing a wire out. You don't know what the length is, and you don't have any balance or anything. You're trying to tune the old bed spring. These would not work for that. But for standard purposes, outstanding.
And Quinn, I'd like to direct your attention to some lesser priced used classic honorable mention rigs out there that you could pick up for, under $300. And that's the Kenwood TS440 SAT and the TS450 SAT. And if you're ever hunting for a cheap used high frequency rig for a backup or digital modes, these classic Kenwoods featured an internal automatic antenna tuner that worked truly ahead of their time. But be careful. Make sure it's an SAT version. They had some versions that was just the 430, 440, 450S. That did not include the internal antenna tuner, and they were required, obviously, an external optional tuner. So if you're looking at one at a Hamfest and you want the internal antenna tuner, make sure the last two letters on it are AT, which stands for automatic tuner.
Yeah, automatic tuner or antenna tuner. So that's great, Tom. I remember the first time I was at a friend's house who had the 440 with the antenna tuner, and he showed me how quickly and how well it worked. Two things about it. One is I thought, boy, that's a lot of clicking. And then, and then the next thing I thought was, I can't believe how quickly it's doing it. Really, it was like magic. So these are our suggestions if you want to go with rigs for portable or desktop with really good antenna tuners. But our experience is limited. Please post some more rigs down below for other people to consider that you are really pleased with the antenna tuners, especially internal antenna tuners that go beyond the 3-to-1, that are really robust in that sense. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, tell us any topics you'd like us to cover, and we'll do the best we can. This is Ham Radio Perspectives. I'm Quin, K8QS.
And Tom, WA9TDD.
7-3, everyone.